Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Discover Your Potential segment, brought to you by Smart Pet Talk, we're joined by contributor, podcaster, and host Anna Devere. Today, she's joined by Steve Sims. Now, do you know anyone that's worked with Sir Elton John or Elon Musk, sent people down to see the wreck on the Titanic seabed, or closed museums in Florence for a private dinner party, and then had Andrea Bocelli serenade them while they ate their pizza? Well, you will in just a moment. Quoted as the real life Wizard of Oz by Forbes and Entrepreneur Magazine, Steve is the best selling author of BLUEFISHING, The Art of Making Things Happen. He's also the author of Go for Stupid, The Art of Achieving Ridiculous Goals. He's a sought after coach and top rated keynote speaker. And if that wasn't enough, he and his son Henry are co founders of Sims Distillery, a platform leading community for creative disruptors. They joined me today to chat about making impossible dreams possible, pursuing your most ridiculous goals, and unlocking your true potential. Welcoming now to the show are Anna Devere and Steve Sims. Welcome, superstars.
Thank you.
That's a hell of a lineup, but thank you very much for having me.
What a blast. Can't wait to dive in. Thank you for being here, Steve.
It's an honor.
All right, let's dive right in. So, Steve, your book, BLUEFISHING, The Art of Making Things Happen, is packed full of knowledge from your time as founder and CEO of your luxury concierge service, Bluefish. And it really emphasizes creating unique and memorable experiences. It's through these events that you've helped people make the impossible possible. With the practical tips, techniques, and strategies you share, readers can break down any obstacle and turn their dreams into reality. What do you think separates the dreamers from the doers when it comes to turning ideas into reality?
Oh, I think they listen to the wrong people. I think we grow up and then we get squashed. You know, as we were talking about kids earlier before we went live. You know, when you're young, there's no parameters, there's no boxes, there's no naysayers, there's actually no haters. And then we get older and we're like, oh, I'd like to do this. And we listen to a bunch of people, whether it be on social platforms or even in our local coffee shop, going, well, that's ridiculous. You could never play piano with Elton John. You could never hang out with Elon Musk. You could never go into space. And the biggest mistake in the planet is we listen to them. Now, if you go back to being a five-year-old's running around the room with a little pillowcase around his head going, hey, I'm going to be a superhero. And what do we do as parents? We go, yes, you are. You can be anything. Well, when they're 18 years old and they're still running around the room with a pillowcase around their neck as a flag or as a cape, we turn around and go, grow up, act your age, stick to your lane, know your place. And we squash the creativity. So my wife has always said that I'm a 55-year-old, 5-year-old. I've never felt like anything's impossible. And I love it when people come to me and they go, hey, I've got this business challenge or I've got this dream I want to do. And I know it's impossible. I love it when they say that because the second they say that, they've already given themselves a ceiling. Well, if you just dreamt, what would I do today if I wasn't scared of being laughed at? You'd be amazed at what you could achieve.
That's 100% accurate. Now, this book is completely life changing because while most people have life goals, a lot of people aren't willing to take the necessary risks or leaps in life toward pursuing their goals out of fear of failing, to your point. And in fact, according to Lincoln Goals Fear Factor Index in partnership with YouGov, 1 in 3 Americans were found to be scared of failure, and almost half of the surveyed adults responded that their fear of failure was the biggest barrier to not achieving their goals. So, overcoming this fear is absolutely crucial. That, paired with the strategies you share in your book, totally sets everyone up for success. Now, I know Anna has some questions, so I'm just going to hand it off to you, Anna.
Well, yeah, I know you've met some fascinating people, Steve, and you could tell stories for hours on those people. But what I want to know is, have you come across any stories of breakthroughs, inspirational to you, that have really stuck with you over the years?
Millions. You see, I was a broke bricklayer from London, and I wanted to, question quite simply why I was broke. I wasn't frightened of hard work. I was still getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going on the building site and coming home at 8 o'clock at night. So it wasn't the hard work, but why was some people seemingly having it easier and having the life that I wanted? So I went out in the early 90s to try and question those people. I've always said that I was podcasting before there was podcasts. I was just trying to ask people who were successful, how come you're successful and I'm not? And that was my question. And along the way, I started trying to help people so I could engage them in those conversations. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've been able to have those conversations with, people like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Elton John, and some of the most famous people on the planet, but some amazingly powerful people that you've never heard of, people from literally all over the world. And it's always amazed me how that fear actually creates the problem. We're scared of the fear, so we don't try. And we've gone through COVID and we've erupted with these modern day cultures that we've invented, like the cancel culture and the gotcha society, which just grow that fear of us trying. I don't want to say that we're scared of failure. I want to say that we should embrace it, because there's not a single person in the planet that's successful that you don't idolize that hasn't been a serial failure. They've just allowed it to refine them and not define them. And so as I've had these conversations, I've gone out to try and go, well, okay, what can I do? What's possible for me? Not, hey, I'm going to break through the impossible. That's a silly statement. How can I excel? How can I branch out? How can I play? And here's one thing that you've got to understand. Here's a tactical tip for everyone out there. Don't try to break the impossibilities. Okay. If you sit here and you go, hey, that sounds impossible, but I'm going to break through the impossible. I'm going to make the impossible possible. When you say those things, you become very gritty and very fighty. Okay. And no one can last long in a fight. It's as simple as that. 2-3 minutes, the best fighters on the planet, maybe 5. But fighting is hard. It's tense. It makes you nervous. It's horrible. But when you play, you can play for hours. So how can I play with this idea? How can I play with this concept? And when I learned early on to actually play with ideas, I found that people gravitated towards them. One of the weirdest things, and you mentioned it earlier, I had a client that said he wanted to have an amazing dining experience in Florence. And I thought to myself, well, what's the most ridiculous thing I can do with this? You could easily open up the Italian version of Open Table, maybe contact the chef and say, hey, here's $500. Please go and say hello to my client during the meal, or take him into the kitchen and make tiramisu. You could easily do that. That's very,
Right.
But how can we do the ridiculous? How can we?
Well, let's pivot to the ridiculous. So we covered BLUEFISHING. That's the art of making things happen. So now let's chat about your other best-selling book, Go for Stupid. So the title is certainly quite bold, and in and in this book, you talk about how in the age of gotcha culture, people are terrified to do anything that might be laughed at or judged. But you do encourage readers to ignore everyone else and go for those big, stupid, ridiculous goals. So can you elaborate on what this mindset means to you and what you believe is essential for success?
It's essential for success to become a child and play. And everyone that you can think of, Elon Musk plays on a daily basis. And he doesn't look at, oh, how can I fight this and do it? How can I play with this? How can I imagine? How can I desire? All of those kind of things gets you being that person. And as I was saying about the Florence, I wanted to see how I could go for a stupid, ridiculous goal. Because here's the daft thing. If we go for what we try to achieve, it's usually 1 inch off of what we've already been doing, because that's our comfort zone. If I'm doing this, maybe if I squeeze a little bit more, I could. Well, how about if you set a ridiculous, stupid goal? And here's the key: fail 3 times ahead of what you normally would have accepted. And when I had this challenge to set up the dining experience in Florence, what's the most ridiculous thing I can come up with? Well, how about setting up a table of 6 at the feet of Michelangelo's David in the museum at 9 o'clock at night when I own the entire museum. That's a ridiculous over-the-top goal, which, to be blunt, when I walked into the museum to pitch them with this idea, I thought to myself, that's going to be crazy. They probably never done it before, but hey, a no doesn't hurt me. I don't get any scars or bleeding from someone saying no to me. So I went in, and when I said to them, hey, I came up with this amazing, they actually bought into the dream. They bought into the passion, and they went, that's great. And I remember, here's a real key important thing. After the event, where I actually had the entire museum to myself and 6 clients ate their meal at the feet of Michelangelo's David. And to top it off, I got Andrea Bocelli to come in and sell it. Not because I'm the most connected person in the planet, because I dared to dream. And when I approached them afterwards and I went, that was amazing. Just asking now, how did we pull it off? They literally looked at me and they went, well, you asked. And that's the thing. We've got to ask more of ourselves what we want and actually prepare to get a no. But you know, the funny thing is, the more times you ask, you actually start pulling it off. And then you start drinking your own Kool-Aid and you're like, nothing's impossible. You know, in business, in relationships, in scope, in anything I want, I've just got to start with the mentality of what is my ridiculous goal and go for it.
I love this Kool-Aid you're drinking. So I want to switch now to your current project, this Sims Distillery. Tell me what this is, right? Tell me what people can expect for signing up for this.
It was an aggravation project. You know, I'm 58 years old now. My son's 26. Both of us want different things in life. We want tactics. We want business. We want emotional. We want wealth. We want different things. And so we went on a journey for about 3 years, joining way too many mastermind groups. And you got some that were great in marketing, but didn't tell you what to do with your money once you actually made it. And then you'd have others that were really good at talking about wealth, but they weren't talking about health, you know, and how to live a lifestyle. So I found that most masterminds were very much pigeonholed in one specific niche rather than focusing on you and your needs. And your needs swing. You know, you're making money, then you've got to focus on tax. You're making money and you're looking up. Now you've got to think about how it can generate smiles and memories. So Sims Distillery was an aggravation project. And we literally just went out there and said, we're not getting all the ingredients we want. And someone said to me, well, it's like a distillery. And they know I like an old fashioned every now and then. So they said, it's like a distillery where you take the raw ingredients and you use it and you distill it into the most impactful version of you possible. That's why we came up with Sims Distillery as our community of creative disruptors that want and demand more of themselves.
Sounds like an incredible community you formed with your son. And I know this is not your first time working with him. In the past, you've built and operated a branding and marketing agency.
Yep.
You've been consulting partners for many years, essentially, and have been the minds behind some incredible launches. So let's shift gears towards your upcoming event, Speakeasy, in New York this fall. It's been billed as the greatest entrepreneurial mastermind, and you are the one behind all of it, right? But you purposely left out important details about what your guests can expect. So why is it important for entrepreneurs to get comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Because when most events you go to, you know they're going to be in a hotel conference room, you know who's turning up, you know what time it starts, you know what time lunch is, and you make all your assumptions on whether or not you want to go to that event based on that information. You know, who's going to speak? Who am I going to see? And I thought to myself, you're focusing on the wrong thing. The whole reason to go to any mastermind event is to improve you. And you can only be improved when we know what the problem is that needs to be solved. So what we did was we decided to reverse engineer the mastermind. This is our 8th year we're going into. So what happens is when someone signs up for the mastermind, the speakeasy itself, we then contact you and we go, hey, you've signed up for this event that you know nothing about. And of course, we've got a reputation of bringing in everyone from Jay Abraham, Perry Belcher, Jason Fladlin, some amazing people. So we've got this reputation of surprising our attendance with people they never thought they'd get to meet. But we say, what is your problem? And what would you like solved? What would be the golden egg if you had that removed out of your life or added to your life after 2 days with me? And then what I do is I look into my contact list to find out who can I bring in that's actually going to answer that. And it may be, Joe Polish, it may be Chris Voss, it may be a president, a magician, a rock star, whatever it is, I try to find out if I can bring it in. So our focus is not on who's up on stage, but the problem you have that you need removed out of your life. And then, of course, I wrap it in by making sure that it's only those people in the room. So you're in a room full of people that are willing to be uncomfortable, but are all creative disruptors, demanding more of each other, and there to support you as well. It's been quite a journey. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has, because I thought to myself, it's crazy to think that you're going to pay this money to go to an event that you know nothing about. But it gets the right people in the room, and that's the focus. The right people need to be in the room, not just selling a ticket, not just turning up because you're going to see so-and-so on stage, but it's the right mentality, the right people in the room willing to do and dare to do something different.
I understand that's your secret sauce, that you're the gatekeeper, that you purposely put the right people in the right room. So congratulations, friend. I just want to know what keeps you going. What inspires you creatively, or, what encourages you to keep the passion alive for helping people?
It's a fear. My fear is standing still. I'm very happy. I'm very comfortable. My home, my motorbikes, my family, I'm very comfortable. But if I stopped, I'd become stagnant, stink, and die. I don't want to become stale. So what drives me is I don't want to be the same person that I am today in 6 months' time. I want scars. I want bruises. I want growth. And as I'm getting that growth, I'm then able to pass it on to other people, and I'm seeing them grow. So I think it's a fear of staying still that drives me to just test what I can do. And when I do it, then I turn around and go, right, let me see if I can find a way of helping you do it. And then they do it. And I'm like, right, now what are we going to do now? Because in today's economy, different is better than better. So what can I do that's different, that's going to challenge the norm, that's going to create the response and the reaction that I want, not just for me, but for those within my community, my coaching, my speakeasies, and those areas.
Right.
Wow.
On. I know. Sign us up, right, Zen?
Yeah. Where do I sign up?
Incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was extremely transparent. Thank you for being great at what you do. And more importantly, I thank you for helping others discover their potential.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Thank
for the
you.
right word, play. That's my big takeaway today. I'm going to go play and have more fun.
Good. Then my job's done. Thank you.
That was the Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Smart Pet Talk. And that was the incredible best-selling author and coach, Steve Sims. Definitely visit his website, Steve D. Sims, and do check out Sims Distillery at simsdistillery.com. You can also find them directly on the gram at Steve D. Sims. And of course, to see more of Anna, you could head directly to discoveryourpotentialshow.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.